Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Sunday. I promised I'd be back here today, or at least a couple times a week here, to talk with you guys about life's crazy things. Yeah, this even is one of them. So let me know where you're watching from. I am very grateful to be here. Had a great start to the day, went to church, and heard a great message on we're in this together, and that means life and everything. Say, hey Sarah, hey Carolyn, Christy, Shirley, nice to see you guys. Hey Cheryl, long time no see. I hope you guys are well. And hopefully you guys have your snow gone. And I know you guys got a lot more than we did. Hey Lynn, hey Tyler. Yeah, this was I was hoping would be like, catch your attention, because this is not something that I should ever be holding in my hand, ever, ever, ever. Hey Carrie, Emily, good to see you. I am on here today. Last week I kind of talked a little bit about seasons of life and, grabbing onto those gifts and talents that we have and using them to the best of our ability. And today I wanted to just talk with you and maybe even make a public service announcement, because these are things that we should be able to know well in advance of them happening. And for me, hey Deb, how's it going? Good to see you. Hey Janet. And it's comical because I know that you guys know that I'm about 118 days, I think it is, maybe it's a little bit less than that, from turning 50. And as much as I have been giving Keith a hard time these last a couple weeks, I said, okay, I'm going to go get one of these, because guys, I have to tell you, and so some of you guys that are on here, you can just ignore this message because I'm speaking to the ladies for the first couple minutes, is that the road to 50 doesn't have to be this bumpy, but it is because of lack of knowledge and information. Because you know how I'm always talking about staying healthy and understanding body alkalization, understanding how gut health is so important to your health. Well, when you are going through menopause or perimenopausal and those kinds of things, apparently these things have to be in your house so that you can make sure that God's not going to play a trick on you. Now, keep in mind, Sarah was 90 when she was pregnant, and I literally looked at Keith every day. I'm like, no, God would never do that to me. So finally I had to go put myself out of my misery, and no, I'm not pregnant. So thank God. Thank you. But you know what? And even I digress. Let me go ahead and go back to when I was a kid. My mother we didn't learn anything about health, guys. So any of you guys who are on here, how many of you guys learned had health science and learned these things when you were wee little, and you know all that stuff? Because I'm pretty sure that my kids brought home this information and knew all those things at a much younger age than what I did. Hey Bree, how's it going? We are women, we have periods, we have babies, all those kinds of things. And I didn't know any of those things. And so I literally thought I was dying. So just so you know, growing up in the 70s is a lot different than it is now. And raise your hand if you grew up in the 70s, and give me a shout out if you grew up in the 70s and you guys we didn't talk about those kinds of things that are openly talked about now in school and among friends and those kinds of things. Yeah, Bree. No, I know, right? I cannot. No way. I said, you know what? When I'm 50 and the kids are getting ready to leave the house, I cannot start over, God. I said it over and over. Yeah, I know, Bree. See, I knew that was going to catch somebody's attention. But back then, we didn't talk about those things. And so I literally thought I was dying. And I am not even joking. I thought I was dying. Finally went to my mom, and she said, in her 4'11" Korean woman who also did not learn these things when she was a kid, she said, told me to go and get a diaper. She called it a diaper, you guys. Yeah, laugh it up, because she didn't know how to explain these things either. And so thank God that you're living in the world you're living in today, where you're well informed. And actually, maybe I should say thank God that we're well informed in certain areas and not so well informed in other areas. Yes, Deb, I know it. Thank you. I know. I love being a mom. I'm just not so sure my body's prepared for that, which, at 50 years old, of being able to carry another baby. But it's not happening. Just let's get everybody straight. No pregnancy here in this house. But I just thought it was just so funny that we shouldn't have to wonder about that, but maybe it's because of lack of education, and I just didn't go and learn enough to be able to be well aware of what to expect in this age and those kinds of things, but I just thought it was hilarious and thought I should do you guys all a service and let you know that for those of you guys who have not already reached this time in your life, that apparently Rose tells me it's a roller coaster ride, that you don't even know what to expect anymore. So I am relieved. Not that I would, yeah, anyway, we won't even go there. But I wanted to get on here today and share that with you because I knew that would grab your attention, especially Bree. But also to just talk a little bit, like kind of continue on what I talked about last week, which Katie raised a good question. She said, hey, Jen, how do you know what is that gift or talent, that's something that you're supposed to be sharing with the world and being able to inspire people or educate people? And by all means, this will be my last public service announcement about menopause and those kinds of things. But I got to thinking, that's some of the things, the struggles with people. I know that for myself, like I mentioned last week, I want to write a book. I want to, be an influencer. I want to be able to speak to hundreds of thousands, and I want to be able to reach so many people. And when Katie, when she raised that question, I was like, how do you know? And so I was listening to an interview this morning from Lauren Daigle. How many of you guys know Lauren Daigle? She's an incredibly gifted Christian singer. And she was doing a mini interview with someone, and she was talking about how she was 11 years old when she wrote her first song. I think she was 11 or 12. When she wrote her first song, and she said it was one of those things where she felt like it was something that singing was the only way that she could get it out from her soul and be able to share her gift and share her thoughts with the world. And although I am not going to sing to you, be very grateful. I thought that was so poignant because I'm wondering whether, like some of you guys, you've thought about doing something, especially because you thought it would be a gift or a blessing to the world. What does that look like to you? Post it down here, guys. Yes, I know she's amazing, right? I could listen to her music all day long. She's beautiful inside and out, and some of the struggles that she shared was really just it was really. And that sounds crazy, encouraging, because I know for a lot of us, we wonder like, gosh, all those incredible people they're so fortunate, they have money, they have fame, they have all these different things. But guys, everybody starts at the same place, and that means brand new and having nothing. That means, whether a following on social media or starting a new job or career or starting a new entrepreneurship or using your gifts and talents like this and being able to just step out and step into it like this. It can be sometimes, I think, overwhelming for people. Yes, Darla, I love her too. But what she said really struck me, because being able to, feel like it was welling up inside of her, and until she could sing it, she couldn't get her thoughts and her words out. And I know some of you guys who you use social media, and you may, do, these messages or Facebook Lives or whatever it is, maybe in your company or your team or speaking engagements and those kinds of things. When you're first starting to do this, it can be hard to get it out. But yet, you know what? But there's something inside you that you need to share with the world that could be a huge blessing, that you just continue to do it, and you do it over and over and over until you finally feel comfortable with it and you get good. And you guys know, those of you guys who work with me know that I know that we all start from no one, and we get good by doing it over and over and being bad. And Jim Rohn always says you got to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. And give me an amen if you know that that's true as well. But another thing that she shared, and I wrote it down here, she said there's a cost. There's a cost to anything that you want to do that is something you're passionate about, something that you believe that you could be, or could be a blessing to other people. You could be good at this. There's a cost, and of course, obviously, that means, emotionally, am I courageous enough to go and step out and do that? What would anybody want to hear from me? And we start having, like I said last week, self-doubt talk. And instead, she said, going out and just doing it even though, right? Doing it even though. And she said that cost doesn't mean that it has to be overcome by the tension of expectation. Now, I don't know if you have a piece of paper, you should write this down. And let me say it again, because I know I just started over that as I'm talking about talking to people. There's a cost to success, but it doesn't mean that it has to be overcome by the tension of expectation. And why that struck me so much is that when, whether I'm hopping on here and talking to you guys, or if I'm speaking at a company event, or if I'm talking to my team, whatever that is, that if we're overcome all the time by the tension of expectation, like people are expecting that I'm going to say it this way, or expecting that I'm going to be this kind of person, or expecting that I'm going to be this good or that good. Sometimes, again, if we wait long enough and we delay long enough in stepping into what it is that we know that was planted in us long ago, that it should be a gift to the world, if we wait long enough, you guys, that being overcome by the tension of expectation turns into the poor self-talk, the self-doubt, the you're terrible at this. Let me know if I'm the only one who understands what that means, or that impacts anybody else. But sometimes when you wait long enough, you're just never going to do it. You're never going to step out and go and write that book, start that business, do this with your kids, or do this, travel with your husband, or speak on social media, whatever those kinds of things are. I thought that was so powerful, and I wanted to make sure I could share that with you guys today. And of course, obviously, it kind of piggybacked my pastor's message this morning, which is, that we're in this together. And so those of you guys who've been following me for a while, I hope that you will stay in this with me together, and do this together, is to be able to follow me on our other social media platforms like Instagram at Jen Furness, because I really want to start, like I said, stepping into what it is I think that I have been made for and feel like I have a gift for, which is communicating with people and really heart to heart with Jen, which is my Facebook page, is just speaking into your heart. Maybe it resonates with you. Maybe you guys, it doesn't resonate, talking about pregnancy test doesn't resonate with you, but it should, because, you just never know. Or even these kinds of things of stepping into your greatness, no matter what season of life that you're in. And like I said, you may not be stepping into menopause and 50 and kids leaving the house and looking for what is the next season, but you will be at some point in time. And maybe you've already stepped past that, and you're living your life and wondering now what's next. I'm hoping that we can take this journey together and just find out what is your gift to the world, because God gives every single one of us gifts and talents. He promises and assures us in His Word. He gives us gifts and talents that He intends for us to maximize, through His wisdom and His strength through us, to be able to reach people in a way that no one else could. And so if you don't step out and have the courage to be able to go out and do that thing that He planted in your heart a long time ago, so many people are going to miss out on that blessing. And so I hope that would encourage you to just really give it some prayerful thought. What is it? What is my next season? Maybe even if you're running around with kids, little ones and things like that, and you're feeling like there's something else that you feel like you have for the world, that you'll just fill in those nooks and crannies of life, that you'll start to develop some of those things, whether it's writing or speaking or even just living and breathing the same air as other people, that you feel like you could give a word of encouragement, or maybe even just passing a note. Some people I know in my circle are just so incredible at even writing a note of encouragement, and they have no idea how much of a blessing it is when I receive it or anybody else receives it. But whatever that is for you, I hope that you'll search it out and come along with me as we figure out what those things are, and just have some good, authentic, fun conversations along the way. So anyway, yes, hey Carolyn, hey Linda, good to see you. Bree, of course, hey Jen. Love talking with you guys, and wanted to just share that heart to heart with you guys, and hope that it's a blessing to you, and also definitely a blessing to you that I am not pregnant, so I can keep doing what I do and not lose my mind. So anyway, count it all joy, guys. Like God tells us in James 1:2, count it all joy, even when you meet trials of various kinds. And I hope that you enjoyed mine today. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.